Hello everyone, in today's video I'm bringing you some sweet real estate content. I'm gonna be talking about my apartment here in Montreal. I've been living here for a solid year and I now feel like I have more perspective and knowledge about this topic. I'm first gonna address the elephant in the room. I know 1.2k Canadian dollars though might look like a lot of money, but I wanted to realistically show you what that can get you in a city like Montreal. So I'm gonna split this video in different chapters. I'm gonna start talking about what I was looking for, how I found this place, and then I'll give you a tour and share some of my advice. I've learned quite a lot and I have some warnings. Because this unit came unfurnished, I'm also gonna give you a breakdown of all the money I spent on every area and a final price. I just did the math, it's mind-blowing. And without further ado, let's get right in. Okay, story time! I moved to Montreal a year ago. I had never been here before. I was new to the city, didn't know anybody, and I was looking for something close to my job, comfortable. It was like the winter time when I arrived, so you know what I mean? And that included all of the appliances. I knew I wanted to live alone. As I said, I didn't know anybody here and I wasn't willing to take risks. I'm very particular about my space. I wish I could talk about all the other places that I viewed, but this was the first and only one that I saw. Looking back, that might have been a mistake. At the time, it didn't seem like one. It didn't seem like one because it checked all the boxes. It was really close to my job, as in like a 1-minute walk. New construction, all appliances included. I couldn't say no. It was great. However, I'll talk about all the things I wish I'd done differently later. If you haven't guessed it already, I live in a condo. One of the things that sold the place to me was the building. It has an outdoor pool, a rooftop terrace, a smart post office, a fitness room, and a gourmet grocery and 24/7 convenience store on the ground floor. The location, I have to say, is great. Everything's accessible from here and I've barely spent any money on transportation. Overall, the best way in which I could describe this place is comfortable and very convenient. My unit is a studio apartment, which means is a small open space. Per month, I pay $1,252 to be exact. Everything, water, electricity, heating is included, but the internet. Internet is the only thing I have to pay for, and that's $64 per month. In total, the net cost of living here is $1,300. The appliances included are an enormous, literally why so big, washer and dryer and a dishwasher, and then an equally large oven and fridge, light fixings, a generous closet, and for one person that's more than enough. If I wanted to have a space like this in London, that would be so expensive. And then I almost forgot about the bathroom. It of course has storage space and a bathtub. A huge con is that the unit came unfurnished. I had to buy everything myself and it was so pricey, so time consuming, and so draining. I want to ask you, have you ever tried to buy a sofa and a mattress? They are so expensive and it was such a mess to get them to the flat, assemble them. It took forever to get them delivered in the first place. It was a mess. Those were like my first big adult purchases and it wasn't fun. If you can, avoid it. In total, I spent around 4k for everything. I'm quite ashamed to say that. Something that I really liked about this space, and one of the reasons why I decided to go with it, was the layout, because it allowed me to have different areas. I have friends whose studios are literally a square, and I feel like in those cases you have to be way more creative. Here I have a sleeping area, a living area, and then obviously the kitchen and the bathroom. Now let's start with the apartment tour. As soon as you walk in, really, you can see the entire space. You'll find this beautiful but very inconvenient glass dining table. I don't have chairs, and then to the side, the kitchen area. After years of sharing a kitchen, having all this storage space was a blessing. Although I do have to say, everything's kinda empty, like my soul. Since I only had the main appliances, I bought a microwave, electric kettle, a toaster, an espresso machine, and obviously all the cooking stuff. On the opposite wall, that's my, honestly, I'm not gonna call it a bedroom, sleeping area. I was on a budget, so I didn't overcomplicate it. I bought the basic stuff. There's a really tall memory foam mattress, which is so amazing. My back loves it. The bedding, of course, and a lamp. The bed frame is really minimalistic and it has space under it so I can store all my suitcases. It's a really cozy and dark space, which I like. Next is my favorite and most expensive part of the house. This is where I spend most of my time, and that is the quote-unquote living room. I have this very long mid-century style sofa with a TV in front of it, obviously, and a working space. It's not ideal to have them so close, but that's all I could do in such a small space. I knew I wanted this area to be very comfortable, so I really splurged. This is also the only part of the apartment that gets natural light from this big window, which looks towards a courtyard. And at last, the messiest and smallest part of the studio, the bathroom. It has all I need, a bathtub / shower, and plenty of storage. Although my European ass is missing a bidet, but well. The only negative here is the lighting. Like, it's cool, but it makes you look like a specter. It's like bad for your self-esteem. And this is the entire flat. This is a part where I spill all the tea and talk about the negatives. I do feel like I can't complain. Like, seeing what's around this area and the prices, especially now with inflation, this is more than okay. Like, yes, I wish I could have more natural light or open my window more, but for a sad single person like me, it's enough. The main mistake I feel that I made was not being able to foresee the future. The reason why I decided to go with this flat from the get-go was its proximity to my office. However, 1 month into my new job, we got sent home for 6 months. So I was working from home for 6 months. I found myself trapped in a condo in an expensive ass area and spending half of my salary for it. And that was my next mistake, spending half my salary. Ideally, it should have been like a third. And I could have achieved that if I had moved farther. At last, and this is more subjective and something that I've discovered about myself, yes, living in a new construction is convenient and comfortable, but this place has no soul. I feel like coming from Europe and after living in a beautiful old house in London, I personally prefer to live in a place that has personality and doesn't feel like a beehive, as comfortable as it is. In Canada though, you need to have into consideration the winter. I can't picture myself going to a laundromat when it's like -22 degrees outside. I just can't. Anyway, this has been all for today. In a way, I made this video for selfish reasons as a farewell. I'm moving out in January and I already found somebody to take on my lease and buy all my furniture, which is great. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I feel like this topic has so much substance. I didn't even talk about what was it like to rent without having a credit score. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!